Okay, so first of all, this is not meant to be a hit piece on Casey Zander at all, but we're going to go into this in pretty deep details here just to explain why I'm going to say that there is something wrong with what Casey Zander's advice is. Now, the guy, I believe he's brilliant. Okay, I believe that 95% of the things that he puts out there, I would agree with almost 100%. All right, he very much has women dialed in. He understands female nature, female psychology. Okay, and if you follow his advice, you'll be a better man. I promise you, because he talks about all the key things about masculinity, and he understands it very, very well. All right, I believe that if you follow his advice, you will have more women. You'll have more women attracted to you. Okay, and you will you'll have success. Okay, I do believe that following his advice will lead you down the path of success. However, where it won't lead you, if you want to go here, is to have a true, deep, intimate connection with a woman that you trust, okay, and that you can build something with, right? And the reason why is because most of his advice, most of the stuff that he's saying, even though it's accurate, it is at a lower level of operation than the level that you could be at, all right, if you do some things differently and you look at the world from a different viewpoint. So my way of explaining this, let me sort of, it's fairly complex, but let me try and break this down and simplify this. So essentially, he's presenting the world from a one-dimensional viewpoint. And this one-dimensional viewpoint, or two-dimensional viewpoint, you could say, is based off of fear. All right, so primarily, the things that he's talking about attraction and women's attraction and their psychology is based off of their fear attraction, which is accurate, all right, and is essential to understand. And you do have to have an element of that as a man, okay? A woman does have to fear that she could lose you. She has to fear that she could miss out on her best option, which is you, which should be you if you're listening to his advice, if you're listening to my advice, okay? And those things are important. All right. But also, the reason why his videos are successful is because he's also capitalizing on your fear of how women will treat you, of women not liking you, not being attracted to you, losing attraction for you. Okay. And these, to a degree, are valid fears as well. All right. So that's why I say that what he's saying is not untrue. It is very true. It is very accurate. However, there are levels to this and there is depth to this. And what exists above fear, right? Because there's a spectrum of fear and then love, all right? And the thing is, if you operate always in the fear zone, all right, yes, you will have success with women, but you won't ever have the comfort. You won't ever feel comfortable with a woman and feel that you can trust her and feel that she is going to actually love you for who you are. And I know that this is one of those things that guys, that you've been told by so many content creators and so many people, that a woman will never truly love you for who you are. And to a degree, that is true, right? To a degree, you have to become the man that a woman would love, right? And if you change, if you're no longer that man, then yeah, then her love for you will fade. Okay, so I'm not debating that. That is very true. But you can create such a strong bond, such a strong attachment from a woman where she would not ever want to lose you ever. And it's not just based out of fear, it's based out of love. Okay. It doesn't mean that she's not going to have a fear element, which again, Casey Zander goes into those things and he gives you a lot of strategies, a lot of understanding of why a woman makes the choices that she does, right? Okay. A woman does have to look up to you. She does. Absolutely. She has to see you as above her or someone who that, is out of her league, that's someone that, that she is lucky to be able to get. She has to see that. She has to see that. She has to feel like you are high status or that your status is above her. Okay. That is very, very true. However, right, if you operate just from that frame, you're going to have to maintain that always. Okay. And all the things that he says that go along with that are going to be true. So for example, from that situation, if you look at things from that frame, what's going to happen is that if you commit to a woman, she's going to be less attracted to you. Why? Because it's going to indicate that you have chosen her. Okay. And your choice of her, when her attraction is based off of fear, is now going to indicate that she has less to fear. So she's going to have less attraction, right? And there's a lot of ways that this can be explained. Casey Zander does a great job of explaining it in much more depth and not using the exact same terms, but I'm giving you a very simplified version of this. Okay. So that I can get to the point which I want to make, which is the thing that you're missing out on, which is the love side of the equation, right? And so if you operate from this, what's going to happen is that, like I said, you're going to have women that are going to be afraid of losing you. They're going to be afraid that they would miss out on you if they're not with you, and that they won't be able to find a better guy. Okay, and you're going to have these women being very attracted to you. Okay, you're going to get those things. However, what's going to happen, you have to understand this, is that as soon as you give them commitment, as soon as you show them that emotional attachment, as soon as you show them positive emotions, showing that you love them and that you care about them, okay, they are going to lose attraction for you. Based on that, again, this is exactly what Casey Zander is saying. You might be saying, well, wait a minute, John, I don't understand, because you're saying that he's missing out on something. And the reason why is because you're looking at life in the wrong way. And if you look at life from that perspective, or only that perspective, okay, then that is going to be your reality. And those things are going to hold true. And I have no doubt that Casey Zander 100% believes what he's saying, because he has seen it play out, because he's approaching life and he's approaching women from this vantage point, and he's figured out the lessons of that, okay? Probably the hard way. However, let me give you another scenario. Let me give you a little bit more of a layer of depth to look at things, right? So if you take the base level, which Casey is talking about, which is a fear-based level, all right? And you add on top of that instead of just being a guy, okay, that a woman looks up to, a guy that she knows that she could lose, okay, instead, if you're also a guy who, when she's with you, not only are you fun and adventurous and all of those things, and the high status guy, and can give her good experiences and good emotions and all that stuff, but you are a guy that treats her better than any guy has ever in her life, okay? That you're a guy who only has eyes for her, right? You're a guy who, when you're in love with this woman, okay, then you are going to worship her as a goddess. Okay, again, don't misunderstand what I mean by that. Okay, I don't mean that you're going to put her way above you, and that you're going to supplicate to her, and you're going to put yourself below her, and that you're going to become this sappy kind of pushover guy. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about that you have a backbone still, okay? That you don't tolerate any disrespect from a woman, okay? But at the same time, you're the kind of guy that actually allows her to vent her emotions and can hear what she's saying, and is able to be calm and rational, not cold and not distant. That you're a guy that that does things for her that no guy has ever done, that makes her feel special and like the only woman in the world, and that you only have eyes for her. When you're that guy, on top of the fact that she could lose you, and that if you're not treated right, you will leave regardless of the circumstances or the consequences for doing that, okay? Now you create something that is extremely deep, okay? Now you create a connection where she's not just motivated by fear. Because the thing is, when women are just motivated by fear, like I said, when that fear is relieved, the more comfort you give them, the more connection you give them, the more safety and security you give them, the less attracted they are going to be, is because they're instinctually working off of the idea that they don't want to lose out, right? And people will do this in general, right? You could call this manipulation, right? But I don't even like to apply that label to it. But in a sense, it is a sort of a manipulation, right? Because you're manufacturing this fear, okay? Even if you, and the place where it becomes incongruent, okay, is when you actually do care about and love this woman, okay? And you're going to experience that. You're going to have this happen, guys. And there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with loving a woman. There's nothing wrong with actually having emotions and feelings towards a woman. And there's nothing wrong with expressing those things, okay? What is wrong is having an absolute attachment to that, to having an attachment to the outcome, to being unable to live without her, okay? Because if you have that level of attachment, then you're coming across as needy. But if you can come across as such a guy and truly be authentic in yourself and say, look, this is how I feel about you. I do love you. I do care deeply about you. You are the only woman in the world to me. And I would do anything for you, and I do worship your body as a goddess. I do see you as this goddess of a woman, right? I connect with the feminine of you. My masculine yearns for your feminine. Okay, I know this is sounding a little out there, but get with me here, or stick with me here. So if you can be that guy, but at the same time be like, but look, I'm still detached in the sense that I'm willing to walk away. I'm willing to, I can see all these things. And when you are my woman, when you belong to me, this is how I treat you. This is what I see. There's something special in you that I see, and only I can see this. Okay. And when you are my woman, this is what you get. This is the treatment you get. And this is how I view you. Okay. This is powerful. This is deeply powerful, okay? Because now, at this point, what you're giving her is you're giving her both of the things that she wants, okay? She wants a man who is to a degree selfish, right? She wants a man who cares about his mission. She wants a man who is not going to be a yes man and a people pleaser. She wants a man who does what he wants, says what he wants, okay? Doesn't fear the consequences of his actions, takes the actions that he thinks are right, has the judgment of his own judgment, is the highest judgment, and the thing that he values the most, and not other people, okay? Doesn't care what other people think. She wants that man, but she also wants that man to be totally crazy in love with her, to worship the ground that she walks on, to lift her up, to, even though she looks up to him, to lift her up higher than him. She wants that man. She wants the man that treats her better than any man has ever treated her, that fulfills her sexually, that fulfills her in so many ways, okay, that she can deeply connect with, and that she feels as if you are one. She wants that man as well. Okay. And the thing is, you have to be both of those things, because where a lot of guys go wrong, and that's why you're just better off listening to Casey Zander and don't even listen to me. Okay. Honestly, like if you're, for most guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm telling you the truth here. Okay. For most guys, you're too nice. You're too much of a people pleaser. You don't have a backbone. Okay, you fall in love with a woman and you give her everything without her earning it, right? In the sense that she hasn't shown you the devotion and the love and the desire that is necessary for you to reciprocate that. Okay, you're giving her too much, right? You're needy. You need her to validate you in order for you to feel good about yourself and to be a man. Okay, so most of you guys, all right, I'm being honest with you, that's your problem. You're seeking this external validation. And so if you go over and you listen to Casey for a while, he'll help you with that. I promise you. Okay? Because the things that he's saying are absolutely accurate in terms of that. It will stop you from being that guy. Okay? But however, if you only listen to that and you never go past that, and like I said, I think that for a lot of you guys, the right phase of growth is actually going over to Casey's channel and listening to his content. I know this is going to sound weird. I know a lot of what I'm saying in this video sounds weird, by the way. Okay. And if you don't get it right now, it's fine. Okay. And, and I'll revisit this in other ways, but I think for a lot of you guys, it will benefit you to go and listen to just what he says and ignore what I'm saying right now. Okay. As weird as this says, as weird as this sounds. Okay. And then as you grow and you develop and you become a man who is able to be selfish to a degree, who stops being a people pleaser, who has a mission in life, who puts his mission and purpose first, who is not so needy and desperate for validation and sex, as you become more of that man, then eventually you can now do what I'm telling you to do. Now you can actually love a woman. Now you can love a woman without the attachment of the outcome, meaning that you can find a woman that already has a high desire for you, that is already treating you like a king. And now you can give her that amazing treatment and make her feel special and make her feel like she's the only woman in the world and love. But know that there's no strings attached to this. You don't require her to do anything in order for you to do this, because you're not trying to get something back from her. And if she doesn't love you, if she doesn't desire you, if she doesn't treat you in the way that you want to be treated, then you will walk away from that. And she knows that and she feels that, but she doesn't feel that from necessarily this place of fear that's inspiring these things. She feels it from a place of love, and she's afraid of losing what she has, the love that she has from you. Okay? Not, and now again, let me paint a different picture for you, a different way of viewing this, right? So what Casey Zander is preaching, okay, in his approach is to make it so that a woman doesn't ever get what she wants, so she keeps wanting it. Okay? Because what does a woman really, really want from you? Okay, she wants obviously the stud of a man that that other women are attracted to, and he's right in saying it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how, if you have six-pack abs or any of those things. It matters how she perceives you, okay, in relation to your value, in terms of how much do you actually value yourself in comparison to her, right? That is true. But what I'm saying here is that if what a woman really, really wants, okay, is she wants a man to be madly in love with her. Okay, read romance novels, watch a rom-com. She wants a man that is obsessed with her. She really does want that. Okay, and so what Casey's approach is for you to never give her that, okay? And for her to want that more. And so she desires you sexually, she desires you. She's trying to earn you. She's trying to get you to give her the commitment, the love, right? The devotion that she wants, but you never give it to her, so you keep her on the line. It is really true, and it does work, like I said. And if you're not looking for long-term committed relationship, you're not looking for a depth of a relationship of intimacy, that will work just fine, and your life will operate just fine, and you will thank me for telling you, and Casey for giving you all the tools that you need in order to accomplish that in life. Okay. However, what I'm suggesting and what I'm saying is that you don't just have to be that guy. And if you are that guy, if you are building up her attraction for you based on what you're not giving her, when you do give it to her, okay, and you're not going to be good at it if you haven't practiced this, the attraction is going to fade because she's got what she wanted, right? So the thing is, like, here, let me give you an analogy here, all right? And I'll try to wrap this video up because there's a lot to say here. And again, like I said, I like Casey stuff, and I like Casey Zander. I think he's a good guy. Okay, I don't have anything against him. I'm not trying to knock him in any way, and I hope that comes across. Okay, and I'd love to have a debate. I'd love to talk about these things, but what I'm trying to say here is an analogy. Is this so look at this. Okay, think of it this way. Let's suppose that you see some advertisement, okay, for, I don't know, let's say this video game. All right, we'll use this as it just looks like you see the playthrough of the video game and like the scenes that they're showing, and it just looks so awesome, right? You're like, man, I can't wait till this game comes out. It's not coming out for another 3 months, but I can't wait. And you keep on seeing previews of this game, right? And you're like, this is just fantastic. I can't wait to buy this. Like, give me, here's my money. Take my money, okay? And then the game comes out, all right, finally. And you get this game and you go down to sit down to play it. And at first it seems really good, but then you realize that a lot of the gameplay footage, it was sort of, it's actually not that good. It was actually rendered at a higher rendering than your actual gaming system is going to render it at. And, a lot of the stuff that you thought was actually gameplay, it was kind of cutscenes and stuff like that. And so, you're really disappointed in this game. Okay. And now you're not so amped up about it. Now you don't really care about this game that much because you got the game. Now, if you never got the game, okay, and they kept on just talking about this game for years, and we're going to put out this game, you would keep on reading the forums, and you'd keep on studying the gameplay, and you'd keep on wanting to get this game. But however, once you get that game, and here's what Casey says. Casey says, when you get that game, when the woman gets that game, she's not going to want the game anymore. She's not going to be as attracted to the game. Okay. And if your game is mediocre, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. However, let's paint a different scenario. Let's say that you really want this game. You see all these previews for this game, and it just looks fantastic. And then finally you get this game. And when you get this game, it blows away. It's way better than what you could have imagined. It's so good. It's like the previews were not even anything close to what the actual game is. You're like, shit, they messed up on the preview actually, because the game is better. They couldn't even convey in the video game trailers what the game was actually like. And the game is just fun all the time. It blows you away. Okay. Now imagine how you feel about that game. Okay, you're going to love that game, especially if it's dynamic. It has new content. It has constantly these new upgrades that are coming out, right? People play World of Warcraft for how many years? Forever. Magic the Gathering, right? They play that forever. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Okay, so my point is, and again, it's not a perfect analogy, okay, but I think it communicates the point that I'm trying to make here, which is this, is that Casey is going to show you how to build the hype, right? Again, it's not just hype, because you will actually be a high value man, right? That a woman will perceive you to that, and you will actually be that because you'll be working on yourself, you'll be improving yourself. Okay, you will understand the psychology of women in that respect. So it is not just false advertising. However, you're missing out on the thing that you're not giving women the thing that they really want, which is to be truly loved, to truly be seen by a man, to truly integrate themselves together in oneness, right? That is really what the feminine desires. The feminine desires to merge, okay? And the masculine desires this too, okay? It is, you have this desire. And so if you operate that way, every time, it's going to be proven true all the time. You're going to say, oh, Casey was right, because every single time that you operate from this way of inspiring attraction via fear, and then you start to let the guard down and you let a woman in and you become vulnerable, she's going to see it as weakness and she's going to lose attraction for you. You're going to be like, man, I screwed up again. Like I should have just listened to Casey. Like you're going to get to that point. Okay. However, if you practice some of the more important skills of masculine in relationship, which again, I always recommend the book, and I've got it on my bookshelf there. It's called Masculine in Relationship by G.S. Youngblood. I would highly recommend that you read that book. Okay. But if you practice those skills, if you become an excellent lover, if you become not just in a sexual way, but in a way that you can truly make a woman feel your love and that she is the only one in the world, right? That you can overwhelm her with this love and this connection and this closeness, okay, to the depth of her soul. If you can become that kind of guy, all right, then it's not going to play out the way that it's played out in the past, okay? But you still have to be the guy that can walk away, right? You can't ever lose that part of it. So if you have both of these things down, then you're going to create the ultimate level of depth, and you're going to ultimately attract the woman that is going to be very, very attracted to you, and it's not going to fade, and you're not going to have to worry about commitment. And the more safety and security you give her, the more that she's going to be attracted to you, and the deeper in love that she's going to fall with you. She's going to be ride or die, okay? Because a lot of guys, in the community, I'm not going to say the words, but they say, she's not yours, it's just your turn. And for the most part, that's true. For the most part, it's true. Okay, most of the time, for most guys, that's true. But it's not entirely 100% true, and it doesn't have to be true. She can be yours, and she wants to be yours. You have to make her yours. Okay, that is very, very true. So I hope this helps you guys. And again, like I said, I'm not going to repeat that it's not meant to be attack on Casey, because I've said that a couple of times. And hey, if he disagrees with what I'm saying here, I welcome the discourse. Let's talk about it. Sure, we even get on a live stream or something like that and talk about these things. And I'm happy to do that. If you want some help with some of these things that I've talked about, if you want to increase yourself as a man and grow, check out the link down below. I've got a link to the Bulldog Mindset membership. I just realized, by the way, guys, that, man, all my links were broken. All my checkout for Bulldog Mindset membership was not working for the last maybe couple of months. Okay. So check it out if you're interested in that. And like I said, I'm going to be revamping the whole membership coming up in January and adding a lot of new stuff, and it's going to be really really awesome. It already is awesome. There's already like 200 lessons in there on mindset, fitness, women, relationships, dating, shit, investing in real estate, building a business. I mean, everything that you can think of, that's in there already. So go check that out, and I will see you tomorrow.